So sometimes we're doing limits as we approach infinity, either positive or negative infinity. Those we call horizontal asymptotes. And the easiest way to think about it is to drop the smallest powers of x. Think about as x is approaching a very big number, a very small number. Basically, larger powers of x will get there faster than smaller powers of x. Like, for example, if I do 1,000 cubed, that is much bigger than 1,000 squared. Right? So when we're doing these kind of limits at infinity, what my suggestion is going to be is we're going to drop the least powers of x on the top and the bottom when you're adding them. Like, let's take a look at this first one. As limit as x goes to infinity, x squared is way bigger than 4x and 3, because you got to imagine x is like getting bigger and bigger and bigger. X is like a million. A million squared is bigger than 4 times a million. Definitely bigger than 3. So I'm going to drop these guys. And the x squared's biggest on here, so I'm going to drop those guys. So I'm just left with the limit as x goes to infinity of x squared over x squared, and those just cancel to be 1. So that's my answer. Okay? Let's look at this one. I'm going to drop the plus 3 because 4x is way bigger. And then on the bottom, x squared is the biggest term. So I'm going to drop these other ones because they're kind of become insignificant, basically. Okay? So I just get 4x over x squared. One of those x's will cancel. And then 4 divided by a giant number is going to approach 0. Okay. How about this one? Again, I don't need to worry. The 2x cubed is going to be the biggest, and the 4x cubed is the biggest on the bottom, right? Because those will be much bigger. Again, this is only when you're doing infinity or negative infinity. It's not like you should do it other times. Then the x cubes cancel, and I just get 1/2. 2 over 4, which is 1/2. How about this one? Kind of the same thing. We're just going to drop the smallest powers, even though it's negative infinity. X cubed over x. One of those x's canceled. It becomes x squared. So if I take a negative number, big negative number, and I square it, it becomes positive. So this would be positive big number, positive infinity. What if I have something in the radical? Kind of still the same thing. If I'm adding things, I'm still keeping only the things that matter here. But here you want to be careful on the square root part. Because technically, oh yeah, I need to drop the 8. Technically, square root of 4x squared is not 2x, or square root of x squared is absolute value of x. So here you have to say like, well, x is a really big number, positive number. It's a positive number divided by another positive number that's the same sign, because the absolute value doesn't do anything, right? I can just take away the absolute value because I know x is positive, right? So then they'll cancel and I just get 4. How about this one, though? I'm going to negative infinity. We're still canceling the same things, but now our interpretation of what's happening here is a little bit different. It's 4 absolute value of x over x. Now x is a negative number, so I can strip away the absolute value only if I make it negative x. Like that, right? Because it's like I can take away the absolute value as long as I multiply by -1 to make it positive. Now negative x will be a positive number, which is what the absolute value is ultimately doing. Then the x will cancel, and I'm still left with a -1 here, so this would be -4. Okay. So this one, so based on these two, what are the horizontal asymptotes? There's 2 different horizontal asymptotes. Y equals 4 and y equals -4 from the left and the right direction. So they approach different horizontal asymptotes. What about a scenario where like I can drop stuff out, but like I'm subtracting 2 things here? Okay, so this, like if I plug it in, it's kind of like infinity and infinity, and I'm subtracting them. And I don't really like to handle that. I want it to make it look more like a fraction. So the trick we're going to do here is sort of like do our conjugate trick from the last section, right? Oops. And turn it into a fraction. Oops. Plus x. We do the plus sign because when we FOIL the top, it becomes nice and easy for us to work with. This times this becomes x squared minus 4x plus 1, then minus x squared over root x squared minus 4x plus 1 plus x. Now, these x squareds sort of go away because I subtracted them. And now I only want to keep the largest powers. Now, you got to be careful when you're doing this. The 1 is definitely bigger than minus 4x. But on the bottom, you can throw this guy and this guy out. But square root of x squared is about the same size as x. So I actually don't want to say, like, I can't say the x is smaller than square root of x squared, because square root of x squared is actually equal to x as long as x is positive, right? So x goes to infinity, I get negative 4x. Square root of x squared is technically absolute value of x, but I know x is positive because we're approaching positive infinity for x, right? So that becomes x plus x, which is just negative 4x over 2x. X's cancel. I get negative 2 here. Okay? Thanks for checking out this video. I hope you found it really helpful. If you'd like more support, maybe you need more multiple choice practice, maybe you just need more guidance and things like that, I have plenty of information on my website. If you look in the description below and go to www.bothellstemcoach.com, I will explain all the ways I help students be successful in their AP classes.